Hello, I'm Adam from TartyBikes, and here's our guide to sprockets. If you've looked on our site, you'll see there's a very wide range of sprockets available, and it can be quite confusing choosing the right one. The first thing you need to know is that there are two main types of fitment. We have screw-on sprockets, and we have spline sprockets. We're going to look at the screw-on one first, because that seems to be most common at the moment. This sprocket here has a thread. It screws onto your hub or your crank by hand in a clockwise motion, and that means when you pedal, it actually holds the sprocket on. This Trowtech sprocket has a really wide base. There's about 10 threads here, and we need to make sure that at least 7 are contacting your hub or your crank so it doesn't strip off. Next up is a standard Shimano style spline. This sprocket will fit all Shimano, Hope, Chris King and other hubs, not to be confused with the Echo hubs which have their own spline. This sprocket is quite basic, just stamped from a plain steel sheet, so the base width of the teeth is quite narrow. This can dig into your free body, so if you want to make sure this doesn't happen, you can choose a sprocket with a wider base so it spreads the load. This Echo sprocket uses a different spline system to Shimano, so make sure you pick the correct one for your hub. Another very common question we get asked is which size sprocket do I need to make my bike feel lighter or harder to pedal? It's quite simple to work it out. If you want your bike to feel lighter, use a smaller front sprocket or a larger rear sprocket, and to make your bike feel harder to pedal, a larger front sprocket or a smaller rear sprocket. One last thing to mention is that all the sprockets we sell are of 3/32 of an inch width. This is the width of the teeth. All our sprockets will fit all our chains, but make sure you don't use a 9 or 10 speed mountain bike chain which won't quite mesh correctly with the sprocket. So we hope our guide helps. If you need any more assistance, just give us a shout.